Welcome to another episode of The Scoop. I'm Jim Luff, and joining me today is Chad Schirmer. Did I get that name right, Chad?
Yes, Chad Schirmer.
All right. Chad is the managing director of the Painting Contractors Association, a trade association dedicated to supporting painting contractors. PCA exists to help painting contractors run efficient and profitable businesses and to guarantee the public of the skill, honorable reputation, and integrity of master painters while offering direction and fostering a like-minded mentality. Welcome to the Scoop, Chad.
Thanks for having me, Jim. Great to finally meet you in person.
Likewise, I know we've been partnered up for a while, our two organizations, and let's start out with your role. You are the managing director of the association. How long have you been with PCA?
I have been with PCA for about 5 years now. June will be my 5 year anniversary. And I didn't come in this role. I came in with a specialty skill set. I did videos. I worked in LA for a long time and came back to St. Louis to where our headquarters were. And I saw a job opportunity to do a training series. And so I was like, I've never done one of these before. So I thought it would be something cool to put on my resume. And from there, doors opened up for me. I said yes to everything. And now I'm the managing director. And if you're kind of like, well, what is that? Um, the way that we look at things, we follow what is called like an EOS model. And there's books on this and everything. And so, what would traditionally be the CEO, we call him the visionary. And then I am his right hand person. So I'm what is called the integrator. And so
Okay.
basically, I handle all of the operations. So not just the production realm anymore, but that also translates to membership, marketing, and so forth.
So I guess that takes my question away. Have you ever been a painting contractor? The answer
I
would be
have
no.
I have not, and the funny thing is, even though I worked almost a year exclusively on creating a painting training series, I still didn't learn. And I was at a friend's condo. I was like, "I can help you paint this." Well, I grabbed the wrong paint. I did gloss paint all around the cut-ins
Oh
and,
no.
didn't realize it until too late, and it was like, "It is what it is." So,
So
this is why you should always hire a pro.
yeah, I agree. And but on that note, I can tell you that so our company is very involved in the funeral industry. Much as we provide credit card processing for painting contractors, we provide um, we have endorsed partnerships with many state funeral director associations. And I actually work with the board and have a spot on the committee in the California Funeral Directors Association. And I don't know anything about funerals, putting a funeral together or anything like that. But, there's the business aspect of it. I certainly understand that part of it. And, the funeral directors are just as eager to keep up with technology and allow their families to pay for funeral services with the click of a text message button, or emailed invoices. So I understand that. I'm in the funeral business, but I'm not. So how long has PCA been around?
So we have been around since 1884. Next year will be our 140th anniversary. So I'm like, we need to have a birthday party. Um, but yeah, we have been around for a long time. Our mission has always been the same. It's about growing, it's about helping contractors grow and improve their business.
And I mean, obviously, that's a very, very long time. Are you familiar with the history of it and like who started it or how it got started or where it got started?
You know what? As I was kind of alluding to that next year's our birthday, I have a big stack of stuff at headquarters that kind of has the history of PCA that I need to go through, and I wanted to put together for our annual conference kind of a look back and show where we have come from, this a sign of the times, if you will, because one of the things that has shifted in the last several years is and and I'm sure that you probably know this too from associations that you're part of, but our association was kind of like a club, right? And over the last several years, we've now began to put value props in. So there's a real tangible benefits to being a PCA member beyond just networking. Additionally, we're seeing more and more people who you wouldn't expect come into this trade. So there's more women, there's more people of color, greater diversity happening, and it's all happening in a very organic way, which I and our leadership team were very proud of.
I can imagine. Let me ask you about that, where you just alluded to, having more women come in and ethnicities come in. Is a typical member of your association the individual Jim Luff who becomes a painter, or is it more painting companies that have lots of employees that are joining as members, or a combination of both?
Yeah, it's a combination of both. So we do an annual member survey each year. And last year, if I take a quick look at the data, the average company had about 13 employees. So that's,
Okay.
quite big. But we
Yeah.
have resources for everyone. And our goal this year is to focus on these contractors that are smaller outfits and helping them get out of their own way and helping them professionalize, because some people, they just want a lifestyle company that will provide a great lifestyle for them and their family. They're not necessarily looking to scale and make millions upon millions of dollars, and that's
Sure.
fine, but you still have to have systems and processes in place so that you're not a slave to your company. And so that is one of the efforts that we've been focusing in this year with some of the business training programs we've been putting out.
All right. I am, true story, having my living room painted next week. I'm gonna make sure that my contractor is a member of PCA when he comes out. I'm gonna ask him if he's a member, and tell him only PCA members can paint my house.
That's
No, just
good.
kidding about that. What are, how many members do you have in PCA approximately?
Yeah, we have approximately 1,300 members, and they range in what they do. So some of them are residential specifically, some of them
Sure.
are commercial, some work in the industrial space, and some do it all. So they run the gamut in terms of the type of work that they do. And again, we have resources to help them grow their business at every phase and at every sector.
And, in terms of resources that you offer those members, what type of resources can one expect to find at PCA?
So I would start with PCA Overdrive. PCA Overdrive is our streaming platform, and we have over 1,000 I would start with PCA Overdrive, and PCA Overdrive is our streaming platform that has over 1,000 titles. Last I counted was at least 600 hours of content. So what's on there are virtual events, podcasts, docu-series. You had asked about women in paint, and we actually just did a documentary featuring 4 women in paint and their journey. So we put all of that type of stuff on there to help people hear each other's stories, but also attend virtual events on a monthly basis. So that's one resource. Then we also have articles and blogs. All of our members get free access to the industry magazine that's called APC, and all they have to do is ask for a free subscription. I alluded to earlier that we have monthly virtual events. We also have our annual event, which is Expo, and I'm sure we'll talk about that later. And then we have painter training that is designed to help people on board and get crew members field ready faster. So they're making a profit quicker. We also have business training, which we start with the foundation. So this is how do you actually set up a business to be profitable? Then we have business accelerator, which is designed to take someone from $500,000 $500,000 dollars to 1 million and scale that. So that is something new that we've launched this year. Finally, we have other resources such as our industry standards. We have healthcare options that people can enroll in, and we also have a job board. And it goes without saying that We also have discounts from our industry partners in our marketplace, and we also have discounts on store items.
I'd like to add to that that while you were talking about the blogs, that we have assisted with that and provided content for you that specifically tells PCA members how to cut their credit card processing cost down to zero. And Ye I think that that's one thing that associations really offer members is education. And there are so many mom and pop businesses in this world that don't have the mentorship offered by an association. And I talked to somebody the other day who said that he's paying 4% on every transaction he does by credit card. And I couldn't help but thinking that if he had some type of association or even a business coach, that he would not be paying 4%. So I think it's great that you provide so many resources for your members. What does the annual membership cost?
Annual membership is $4.99 a year. Um, I don't want to get into I don't want to get into anything we haven't launched yet. So I'll just stick with that. So I'll say that again. Membership is $4.99 a year.
That's reasonable, and especially considering the resources that you offer. And you've talked a little bit about trade shows, which I think that trade shows offer an excellent opportunity for education. Do you have an annual trade show?
We do. We actually just finished our expo, which is our annual convention. This year we were in Albuquerque. It was the week of February 21st. We started it off with a charity project where over 100 contractors came together and painted this medical center in Albuquerque. And then we had over 700 people come to the event in total. And it's a week-long event of education, and Thursday is our trade show day, and then at the end of trade show, Sherwin-Williams caps it off with a big event that everyone is always excited about because they always inject a little bit of the local culture in their
Yeah.
event, and so there was a lot of tequila tasting
Oh,
done in Albuquerque this past year.
and New Mexico, they're famous for something else. Is it
Hot
green
air
chilies?
balloons.
Hot air
Oh, green
balloons.
chili.
Green
Yes, green
is it green
chilies.
chilies?
Yes,
And
everything
did
had
you
green chilies.
was the event at the, convention center there?
No, we were at the Sandia Hotel and Resort.
Okay. I did a convention at the, Albuquerque Convention Center, and I can tell you they have extremely high curbs. I fell off of one and tore my rotator cuff. So,
Oh,
I don't have fond memories of, my last convention in Albuquerque, but, sounds like you had a great time. We did a trade show for the funeral industry in Nashville, and similar to the tequila theme, Nashville is famous for whiskey, and we did whiskey, tasting right in our booth, and I can tell you hands down, the Chosen Payments booth was the most popular booth in the entire arena.
there you
So
go.
and let's talk about our partnership. How did PCA and Chosen Payments get together? Do you know this story? I do not.
I actually don't know the origin stories. I know that we have an awesome industry partner coordinator named Sheen, who actually coordinated this podcast for us. And
Correct.
so, kind of going back to our mission, we look for in the same thing for an industry partner. How would a potential industry partner help grow someone's business or help them shortcut so they aren't paying 4% per transaction? And so Sheen came across you guys, told you about us, told us about you, and we're like, yes, this would be a great fit. We should offer them an industry partnership. And here we are.
Yeah, and on that note, what do you think I would ask, what are the top 2 considerations when partnering with somebody to benefit your members?
I would say that one is the product and service going to be used by the contractor. There's people that we have to say no to because it's not going to be a fit long term.
Sure.
We're looking at establishing long-term relationships. So that's number one. And then number two is how well do we get on with the team? Because we work very closely with our industry partnerships, especially as you go up the ladder. Like I said, the Women in Paint project that I just did, we were
Mhm.
working with, like the head people at Bear to get this done. So it's about culture fit inside and out, if I had to summarize.
I like it. All right, as we start to wrap up, we're still, I hear some people say we're still in a pandemic and coming out of it. Some people say that's old news, but obviously, COVID wreaked havoc on a lot of different industries and businesses. How did it affect the painting industry? Was there a significant decrease in sales due to the pandemic?
Absolutely not. Some painters had their best year ever during COVID. And that is quite literally when we were in the height of it. And, they're talking about essential jobs. Painters were essential employees. So think about a lot of places that were closed. They're using that time to redo their office space or redo their home. So our painters were literally having to turn down work.
I never
And
thought about that.
yeah, so it was a great year for a lot of our people, and because we look at things from a place of working together, you had people who couldn't take on a job, but they said, "You know what? I know a company that can help you out." And so they're giving work to each other, and that was really nice to see.
Yeah, that
Um,
is.
the data that I have is in 2021, they grew by about 8%. Last year, our average growth was about 15%. So everyone's still doing really well, and COVID was actually, I wouldn't say a blessing in disguise, but it really helped a lot of painting contractors.
Well, as I mentioned, I think that COVID had a negative impact on many different industries, but on certain other industries, um, and as you were talking about, painting while the office is empty, I know that a lot of people engaged in new home decorating and landscaping and yard work, and Home Depot and Lowe's and companies like that had a significant increase in business. Um, I really, up until COVID and being locked in my house, didn't spend a lot of time on my patio. If we were having a barbecue with family over, I might do it. But I found myself on the patio every day, and I started bird watching, and I bought hummingbird feeders, and I bought bird seed feeders, and I imagine a lot of people adapted to a new hobby during that time period. Well, anyway, I appreciate all the information that you've shared about PCA, and for any painting contractors that might be watching right now that are interested in joining PCA, is it possible to join online?
Absolutely. You can join online at pcapainted.org. Again, membership is $4.99 a month. And if you aren't quite ready for membership, you can subscribe to our Overdrive platform for only $5.99 a month. So $5.99. In the office, they always tell me you're making it sound like it's 599, but it's $5.99 a month to subscribe to our streaming platform, and that gives you a taste of who we are. And then once you're ready for full membership, it's $4.99 a year, $499 a year.
All right. I'm glad you clarified because when you said 5.99, I'm thinking, wow, that's just $100 more for a whole lot less. Okay. Oh, folks, we've been speaking with Chad Schirmer, Managing Director of the Painting Contractors Association, a trade association dedicated to supporting painting contractors. Chad, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing such valuable information. And folks, we look forward to seeing you on another episode of The Scoop. Thank you, Chad.
Thank you so much.